Hello, we are here today to talk about the project Globalising European Bioethics Education.
That sounds interesting, but what is bioethics?
According to the International Association of Bioethics, it is the study of the ethical, social, legal, philosophical and other related issues arising in healthcare and in the biological sciences.
So that's why we were meeting in a hospital.
Yes, bioethics is often important in clinical settings and when we talk about medical research. Actually, now I think about it, bioethics could be important in the context of lots of different kinds of research.
Oh, so it is important then?
Well, I think so. And so do these people. They're here for a workshop on the future of bioethics.
I was wondering what they were doing here too.
Yes, they're here for a workshop called The Future of European Bioethics. Their first session is titled, What is European Bioethics?
Well, you just told me what bioethics is, so what more is there for them to talk about?
Well, the whole project aims to respond to the perceived dominance of American theorists within the domain of bioethics, and proposes a number of mechanisms to promote European scholastic and educative approaches to a wide, international audience.
So they are using mechanisms like this little chat we're having? And the workshop they are at?
That's part of it, yes.
Okay, so tell me more about the point of the project. What are these American principles?
Well, this is a simple summary, but in 1971 two professors at Georgetown University, Tom Beauchamp and James Childress, published a book called Principles of Biomedical Ethics.
Ha ha ha.
Why are you laughing? It is an important book and has influenced a lot of debates and practices.
It's just that, even though I don't know anything about bioethics, I know it is pronounced Beauchamp even though it is spelt Beauchamp.
Oops, I'd better not make that mistake again. Anyway, Beauchamp and Childress published their book while at Georgetown University. It focused on 4 principles: autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence and justice.
They seem important. Each one of them is a big topic.
True, but arguably, the dominance of this approach effectively reduces bioethics to a checklist, rather than encouraging the analysis of problems and the testing of arguments.
That's a good point, but what other approaches are there?
Well, John Harries has suggested that such principles provide the beginning but not the end of bioethics.
John Harries, isn't he a little crazy? I have read about him in the newspapers. He says some controversial things.
Well, it's important to look at issues from a broad range of perspectives. At least that way we can rebut arguments we don't agree with.
That's a good point. I should be more open-minded. Anyway, this project is about European bioethics, isn't it? What's that?
Well, there isn't a definite definition. That's part of the point of the project. But lots of interesting work is done by bioethicists in Europe.
But people don't talk about European principles of bioethics?
Well, sometimes they do. For example, the European project, Biomed2, identified some new themes: autonomy, dignity, integrity and vulnerability as being European principles.
Interesting.
Yes, also when writing in Nature, Ruth Chadwick and Cory Berg told us that developments in science and technology have a value impact. They can change the way we look at things and call for new principles to mediate between competing interests.
So there are lots of different approaches?
Yes, Chadwick and Berg suggested we might also think about benefit sharing, equity, solidarity or the precautionary principle as important. Harry and Takala have also suggested we should look at the common features between European and American principles.
And didn't you say something about the IAB talking about ethical, social, legal, philosophical and other related issues?
Oh yes, you're right. We could take an even broader approach.
So what is European bioethics?
No, I am stumped now. We had better ask the experts.